Prince William has had enough. That's not speculation. It's what insiders are whispering through clenched jaws behind palace walls. The future King of England has reportedly reached a boiling point. And the trigger? His younger brother's tangled, headline-hungry life with Meghan Markle. After years of chaos, controversy, and cringe-worthy public moments, William allegedly pulled Harry aside, not to offer brotherly concern, but to deliver a warning. Because when Harry walked away from the Netflix deal that once symbolized his and Meghan's independence, William saw something else. A window, a sliver of hope, a chance to finally break the cycle. And that's when it happened. William, in a moment described by one royal aide as cold and calculated, is said to have told Harry, leaving Netflix isn't enough.
Did you see my baby mama dance?
I mean, stop it. First of all, can I just tell you, the timing of that, we maybe watched it like 20 times yesterday, and I was like, is that her?
Oh my God.
Is that Prince Harry there with the fingers and the, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, by the way, that wasn't yesterday.
No,
that was 4 years ago. So it's also a really great reminder that with all the noise or whatever people do, there's still a whole life, a real, authentic, fun life that's happening behind the scenes. I'm just grateful that now, being back on social as well, I have a place where I can share it on my own terms.
Well, good evening from London. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Today, Harry and Meghan torched what little was left of their relationship with the royal family and what little was left, frankly, of their own reputations. Last week was mostly sickish old revelations with a new twist. As it turns out, we've apparently been wrong all along. Britain is a nasty, racist hellhole where only magnificent Meghan stood up to all this. And
if you want your family back, divorce Meghan. The words landed like a grenade. This isn't just about reputation anymore. This is about power, control, and royal bloodlines. According to palace sources, the ultimatum wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. A last-ditch effort to protect the monarchy from what many behind closed doors now consider an existential threat, Meghan's brand. Because when the crown starts losing the narrative, someone has to take the fall. Let's rewind to where this explosive unraveling began, Netflix. When Harry and Meghan inked their $150 million deal with the streaming giant, it was pitched to the public as a groundbreaking partnership.
This woman is a born manipulator. The Netflix thing, she doesn't do the work. She don't make the jams. It's all made for her.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. It's so authentic, isn't it?
Everybody says she's a bully. She's very nasty. Not only is she incredibly controlling, but she's a bitch about...
A new era. But buried in the legalese was a clause that's now become a royal ticking time bomb. According to multiple sources, Netflix negotiated the right to exclusive access if, or when, the couple separated. A divorce clause, insiders call it cold, corporate, calculated. The implication? Netflix didn't just invest in a love story, they invested in a potential fallout. The clause reportedly guarantees Netflix the first tell-all, raw interview if the Sussex marriage implodes.
Cameras on.
No filters. Global distribution. And executives allegedly loved the idea.
Why?
Because drama sells. And what's more sellable than the collapse of modern royalty? Now that Harry is out, that clause is under scrutiny. Did Netflix always suspect Meghan and Harry wouldn't last? Were they exploiting a royal rift for ratings? And worse, did Meghan know the clause existed and agree anyway?
No, the world's biggest victims right now are the Duke and Duchess of Netflix. And don't take my word for it.
This promise of once you're married, how hard I tried, no matter how good I was, no matter what I did, they were still going to find a way.
What matters is what we have on the inside.
End of every episode, it says, like, the starring, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex.
Yes.
That's how she's...
That's the narrative haunting headlines. Because if she did, critics say she sold her marriage for airtime. And that betrayal is something even the firm can't ignore. When William discovered the existence of the so-called divorce clause, the fuse was lit. Sources say he didn't just view it as embarrassing, he saw it as dangerous. The idea that his own family's destruction could become premium content for the world to binge was, in his words, vile. He allegedly confronted Harry behind closed doors. No staff, no advisors, no PR team. Just brother to brother. But it wasn't a warm reunion. According to one insider, William wasn't there to heal. He was there to demand compliance. The message was blunt.
How mornings are as I get the kids off to school. You're making fruit parfait crudité boards? Like
Oh my God.
whom?
Hours of this Netflix series paint a very different, far uglier picture of this country and our royal family. This series, and they'll believe it. They'll believe the smears about Britain and our monarchy, that we're a bunch of bigoted and hateful people. They even blamed Brexit for the racism which apparently was aimed at Meghan Markle, which is just completely absurd. But by far the most sickening part of this show for me was the constant use of Harry's.
You want to come back into the family's trust? Then cut ties with her. Walk away. To William, this wasn't about personal resentment. It was about institutional survival. The monarchy has always depended on control, dignity, and distance from scandal. Meghan? She brought cameras, lawsuits, and chaos. William reportedly sees her as the biggest liability to the crown in modern history, and he's no longer willing to tolerate the risk. Some say this is William playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. But others? They say this isn't a game, it's war. And divorce is the only acceptable surrender.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
She talks like she's a one-woman band. That is not hard work. Hard work is get up in the morning, get to 7 o'clock, get into a factory or a shop and working for 10 hours on your feet, coming home knackered. That's not what happens to her.
And still being a mom.
That is
Still
not
being
what
a
happens to
mom.
her.
Harry Sussex? I have no idea. And no, Meghan, no one knew that. Like, why are you correct?
I'm going to show you how to make a happy, warm, loving home after I have successfully severed my husband's ties from his entire family.
When William allegedly congratulated Harry for pulling out of the Netflix deal, it wasn't a heartfelt pat on the back. It was a calculated jab, a veiled strike. Palace aides claim it was William's way of setting the stage for what came next. The Real ask. Because behind closed doors, William allegedly believes Meghan orchestrated the Netflix disaster. From the heavily edited docuseries to staged photo ops and dramatic reenactments, William saw it all as evidence that Meghan wasn't telling their story. She was producing it, crafting a version of events that painted the monarchy as the villain and herself as the heroine. So when Harry exited the deal, William saw the first crack in the armor. He reportedly leaned in and told him, "You've left the deal. Now leave the damage." That damage, in William's eyes, wasn't the contract. It was Meghan, the woman who, he believes, pulled Harry into a whirlwind of drama, press manipulation, and disgrace. This wasn't a congratulatory handshake.
It's about an hour-long cab ride, never seen as grandchildren. This show is packed with the kind of spurious claims and hypocrisy that have become the Sussex signature. We learned they began making videos about their heroic journey 6 months before their Netflix deal was even announced, and right at the start of a pandemic that was killing.
This was the beginning of an ultimatum, one William had allegedly been waiting years to deliver. Harry's response? Laughter. During a recent appearance, he jokingly said the media had divorced him and Meghan 10 or 12 times already. The crowd chuckled. The moment trended. But within royal circles, it was seen as a slap in the face. Insiders say William was furious. The issue isn't that Harry joked, it's what he joked about. A crumbling marriage, a royal fracture, and the suggestion that it's all just tabloid nonsense. But the truth? This time, the rumors may be hitting closer to home than ever before. By turning the speculation into a punchline, Harry may have unintentionally confirmed that there's something worth deflecting. One royal advisor described it as tone-deaf, immature, and insulting to the family trying to keep the monarchy afloat.
About to, if you excuse the massive book deals, the Silicon Valley startups, the preaching videos about well-being, the podcasts, the speeches, and the major network interviews with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to James Corden. But they've barely been seen or heard at all, have they? Well, on Thursday, they'll quietly and apologetically release their $100 million.
Hey, lowly cameraman, come over here and try some fried chicken. Try the fried chicken. Try the fried chicken. We need to make it look like I actually care about my camera crew. Come get some fried chicken. Act like you're having fun. Act like you're having fun.
To the outside world, it was a smirk. But to those watching from the inside, it was a red flag. Because when someone mocks the same story over and over, maybe they're trying to convince themselves it's not true. Meanwhile, Meghan has kept quiet. Too quiet. Not a single statement, no social media clarifications, not even a conveniently timed photo op with Harry to quell the rumors. And that's exactly what has everyone talking. Because when the noise is this loud, silence speaks volumes. Instead, she's been showing up in curated moments at charity events, podcasts, or business functions, each one tightly controlled, smiling, posing, saying just enough to appear composed, but never addressing the elephant in the room, the marriage. And experts are watching closely. Body language analysts are dissecting every second of footage. They've pointed out clenched fists, crossed arms, rigid posture. Her smile, described as forced. Her voice, sharper than usual. The verdict? Meghan isn't relaxed, she's bracing. Insiders suggest that this silence isn't serenity, it's strategy. A carefully executed media freeze. Because once she speaks on the record, the narrative shifts. And right now, Meghan's team may believe the best defense is no reaction at all. But there's a limit. Former staffers, already frustrated by how the Sussex story has been spun, are allegedly starting to speak out. And what they're sharing could derail every calm, curated moment Meghan has tried to present. The whispers are back, and this time they're louder. Former aides and palace staffers who once signed strict NDAs are allegedly stepping forward with new claims of dysfunction, disorganization, and emotional exhaustion inside the Sussex household. And these aren't new complaints, they're echoes of the very issues that once triggered a palace HR investigation. One former staffer reportedly described the environment as chaotic, cold, and cutthroat. Another claimed Meghan's management style was relentlessly controlling, with last-minute demands, frequent mood swings, and constant turnover. It was like walking on eggshells, they allegedly said. These are the same types of complaints that surfaced during Meghan's time as a working royal, and according to insiders, William hasn't forgotten. In fact, he reportedly views these new allegations as proof that Meghan's presence brings more destruction than unity. And the timing couldn't be worse. With the Netflix deal unraveling, public opinion shifting, and pressure mounting behind the scenes, these resurfaced allegations are painting a picture of a leader who didn't just burn bridges, she torched the entire institution. The firm is taking note, and according to sources close to the palace, they're using every new report as ammunition in their campaign to push Harry toward a clean break. At the same time, the firm was moving fast, quietly, ruthlessly. According to high-level sources, Charles and William put their top advisors to work on what insiders are calling the Harry reset. And Meghan? She wasn't just excluded. She was erased. The plan is allegedly built around solo optics, Harry shaking hands with veterans, touring hospitals, showing up at charity events alongside royals. But here's the twist. Each appearance is designed to echo Harry's pre-Meghan identity. The wild card prince, the wounded soldier, the dutiful son. Photos are already being lined up. Press pieces are being pitched. And if this works, the world will start to forget Meghan was ever central to Harry's story. One royal comms strategist allegedly said, "We don't need to bash her. We just need to push her off the page." It's a brutal strategy, but it's effective. And from the palace's perspective, it's not personal. It's survival. Meghan represents unpredictability, lawsuits, press drama. Harry alone? That's an image they can manage. For now, it's all happening behind the scenes. But when the rollout begins, Meghan will be left with a harsh reality. The institution she once challenged is erasing her without lifting a finger. While the public watches for clues, the real action may already be happening in legal offices. Multiple sources close to both parties say that Meghan and Harry are quietly lawyering up, not together, separately. According to those in the know, Meghan has retained a high-profile LA legal firm, specialists in divorce, brand protection, and entertainment asset management. Insiders claim her goal is to protect her IP, her trademarks, and her business holdings before any formal separation goes public. Harry, on the other hand, is allegedly consulting a UK-based legal team tied to his royal trust. His focus? Preserving access to royal properties, clarifying custody rights for the children, and separating his finances from shared Sussex ventures. Sources say financial advisors have already flagged joint accounts, income streams, and property lines for future division. Even their Montecito estate, once a symbol of independence, may be under review. This isn't speculation. These are moves people make when they expect something to end. And in the eyes of insiders, this is checkmate preparation. Public opinion is shifting.
Fast.
Once seen as the glamorous, rebellious royals, Harry and Meghan are now drowning in backlash. Hashtags like #FreeHarry and #Megxit 2.0 are trending. TikTokers are creating side-by-side videos dissecting their marriage. Reddit threads are digging into old footage for signs of the end. Even former fans are turning. One royal blogger summed it up: "The fairy tale is over. This is just damage control." And what's Meghan doing? Allegedly prepping for a solo empire. Trademark filings hint at a separate podcast, a memoir, and even a fashion line, all under her own name. Insiders claim she's preparing to launch, without Harry if needed. Independence has always been her brand. But this time, it's not empowerment, it's survival. Meanwhile, William is said to be preparing the firm's next move: total exile. If Meghan doesn't step back voluntarily, the palace is reportedly considering stripping both Sussexes of remaining titles, security access, and formal roles. It's a hardline stance, one that could trigger an all-out media war. But sources say the crown is done playing nice. And just when things couldn't get more surreal, a handwritten letter leaked. Allegedly written by William to Harry, it pleads with his brother to come home before it's too late. Emotional, desperate. Some say it's authentic. Others believe it's a distraction. But either way, it reveals something raw. This isn't just political. It's personal. At the center of it all is Harry, caught between loyalty to the monarchy and loyalty to Meghan. One path leads to forgiveness, tradition, and his old life. The other leads deeper into Hollywood, media chaos, and permanent separation from everything he once knew. Every step is a gamble. And every silence speaks louder than words. Prince William's alleged demand for a divorce isn't just tabloid fodder, it's a threat to the very future of the monarchy. The walls are closing in, the media is circling, and Meghan's position has never been more fragile. In the coming weeks, everything could shift. Allegiances, titles, marriages, empires. Because at this level, it's not about love, it's about legacy. And someone is about to lose everything.